You know, so I mean, it's sad that we've kind of.
No, they said they said it's good. If they said unless it's a health, it presents a hazard to your health.
Not your pockets.
Shut your ass up. Don't even respond. Don't even respond.
You already. Where you been, dude?
Hold up, Ryan. Hold on, Ryan. As the only lady on the podcast, we have to get your opinion first. We have to get your opinion first.
About damn time.
Let me get something happened.
Give 1 second.
No. Hold the thought, Ryan.
No ignorantisms.
Before, there's any airspace or anything that, I might intrude to say something crazy, I just want to know, as anybody with us today had an abortion or taken somebody to get one, because I don't want to be offensive at all.
Yes, I have, and you can't offend me on anything.
Okay, but I do be saying some shit though.
So this is my take on it. Okay, I feel like we as women should be able to do whatever we want with our bodies. At Planned Parenthood, I know that there's they have this thing where it's they won't do it after a certain amount of time, blah 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 blah. So I just feel like there's a lot of young people. I was one of them who it's like you get educated on sex and what happens and blah 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 blah, but I feel like a lot of people make mistakes, and then until you're into the situation as a female, there's a lot of things you have to think about. Before that, obviously you don't really think about the consequences as much. You can get pregnant, but when you're young, your mind's not really there until reality hits, if that makes sense. So I believe that it should be a choice. Yes, I hear people saying, oh, well, then you need to stop having sex and you blah blah blah. To me, like I said, it hits different for me as a younger girl who went through it. You know what I'm saying? I was in my emotions. I thought this guy loved me, blah, blah, blah. Then it's as soon as I told him I'm pregnant, he's like, oh, that ain't mine. Fuck you. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? Now it's okay, Ashley, you're this is reality. All that little young love and being blah, 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 blah. It's damn, can you handle this? Can you, and I feel like that's a decision that I had to make. And I don't need somebody else making it for me, because men can just run away from this situation if they want to. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's called the hit and split.
At the end
it depends on the time of year.
I just think at the end of the day that
it's
my body, and I don't need somebody else making those decisions for me.
All right, there, women empowerment all day. This is the average guy speaking. Just so y'all know.
Go ahead, Randy. Keep the conversation going. What's your opinion on this?
Well, I'm just saying it's easy and simple for them to be like, yeah, we'll write this law because we sleep with a lot younger women, and if they you know what I'm saying, some of them don't want to have abortions sometimes, but you got to make them have it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it in that gaze as well. But you said what? But yeah, I mean, hey, all I'm saying is I'm with the women, you know what I'm saying? That's their body. I'm not trying to police you with your body at all. If I have anything to do with the kid, I just would like to know ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? So I can plan out my life with that person and that kid. But yeah.
But what about the girls that are raped? What about women that are sexually
I forgot all about
by their family? That's not okay.
Yeah, that's definitely not okay.
You said the women that are what?
I'm molested by my fucking uncle, and I'm pregnant. I'm stuck with the baby.
Yeah, she got a point. You definitely got a point.
And if I get an abortion, then I go to prison. But he rapes me, and he only gets 10 years. Make it make sense to me.
You can't. Well, let's be honest. We can't because we're all black here. We're not white, so we can't get away with those. We can't get away with that.
Dr. Gilmore, what say you, sir?
Mm-hmm. Man, this is you know, at the women all have a great argument, and everything they say is valid. Just the only issue, and I don't think somebody on this panel can. I don't think there's anybody on this planet who can say when the cycle of life actually begins. My mother, she's told me she planned on having an abortion, but she decided to go through with it. So I think about, well, it just depends on what theory, or it's not even about theory. We don't know what exactly it is. Would I have been here today, or would I have come in another shell, in another form, come on the next round? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. They're very valid when it comes to speaking on rape. It's a hard one. And I talked to a friend of mine yesterday. And that's why I told him, you know what I'm saying? He asked me the same thing, well, what about that? What about, rape and everything? And that's why I said that's where we as a society really got to get our shit together. We got tons of just issues where even if that issue arises, we'll talk about they can't get abortions and things like that. But then we charging so much for health care and different things like that.
I was going to say, have you ever walked past a woman who was like struggling homeless with her kid? Have you ever been into an adoption center? Have you been to a foster center before?
Yep, I volunteered. Yep, I have.
Have you seen, like, there's children, it's not necessarily that their mom didn't want them, they couldn't afford them, or it was a situation where whatever happened, like, to me, I just feel like with this law, and like I said, there's a lot of young women who make mistakes, and think young men as well, because they're just as involved. And I just feel like you're going to see more children like that. You're going to see a lot of families who can't afford this or whatever the case may be, because we all know that. I mean, I'm not going to say. Maybe in the black community, a lot of the children are raised by their grandparents, because I mean, I know, like, I spent a lot of time with my grandma, and it's not because my mom didn't want me. My mom was fucking working 2-3 jobs trying to just make sure she could put me in a nice area, do this and this and this. And I just see, damn, my child made a mistake. Damn, my daughter really just didn't know. My daughter's 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? If she slipped up, got pregnant because she just slept with some boy and he did whatever, the condom broke, whatever the case may have been, who am I to tell my daughter, you got to have that baby? Nigga, no. You can't make no, she's just like she wasn't probably in the right mindset of when she was actually in the act of having sex. Now you're going to tell me she has to have a child? No, I'm going to be raising the child. I want my daughter to finish school. I want her to do this. But that's what happens in the black community. The grandparents wind up raising the kids. And I feel like it's really one of these situations where they're trying to hold black people back. I'm not trying to make it all about race, but nigga, it is. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I feel like in the space that they're doing this, there's a lot of black women. Yep. And I feel like that's what's going to happen.
But it's a lot of gay in Atlanta, though.
I'm sorry?
It's a lot of gay motherfuckers in Atlanta.
Boy, stop. Listen. Listen.
80% of their population is, like, ass tacklers, though. Like, chances are slim. Atlanta might not be hurting for real. Unless they got, like, another all-star weekend.
No, I'm saying is this. I've been in this situation before. I personally know other women that have, and I just feel like at the end of the day, it's just another way to set us back. I mean, because if that's the case, nigga, y'all wouldn't. Oh, never mind. Let me just shut up. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Like, I feel you. I feel. Hey, you gave me my props. I'm gonna give you yours. I feel you, because it ain't nothing more awkward than sitting in that Planned Parenthood and bumping into somebody you know. Like, nigga, and this bitch. Yeah, like
I
it
mean,
be
it's
like
just
that.
get in the morning after pill or whatever.
Quit reciting Corey Holcomb jokes,
Hey,
nigga.
For real.
Hey,
I
quit reciting Corey
How
Holcomb
did you
jokes.
feel as
so
a young
funny.
man? As a young
You
man,
stealing that nigga jokes.
Nah, that's real life.
As a young
That's why I
man,
thought it was
the
so
first time you probably did it, it might have been a little awkward. Like, yo, I'm buying condoms. This is awkward. But I mean, like,
Hell
it,
nah.
I mean,
It's
it
an
is what
awkward
it
word, that
is.
motherfucker, though.
What?
It was awkward. I ain't had no problem buying it. It was more getting it in with it on. I'm like, well, pussy overrated. This
But that's
bullshit.
what I'm saying. But there's a lot of young black men.
Took that
there's a lot of
motherfucker off,
young,
though. Changed my life.
listen, there's a lot of young black men who aren't educated on how to put it on properly or what they're doing. A lot of young black men don't have fathers around to teach them about those things. And there's a lot of young women who don't have moms around to teach them those things too either. So then you're in that situation, like I said, where you got two young people, whether you're 17, 18, whatever your mind state is, where you just really don't really know what you're getting yourself into. And then when you do, it's like, damn, you know, like, I just, like I said, that is it just, to me, I don't understand how a panel of all men can vote on something that doesn't even pertain to
It's the women too. It's a lot of women that support that shit too. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
but are they voting on it?
But they eat pussy and shit too, so that makes a lot of sense.
Indirectly.
Cause they be like,
indirectly.
I seen them. They be standing outside of Planned Parenthood with the megaphones and shit. That bitch is going to hell. She's trying. It's a fetus. He got a heart and all that shit, man. Everybody try to hear that shit. I
think. Speaking, really think about it. Really lock in and think about it, because everything said, all the arguments are valid. But like I said, what comes into contact is how you feel about a life. Yeah, we know what it looks like. We know what it looks like in front of the foster parents and all the situations, all different type of, you know what I'm saying, outcomes that could come out of it. And that's why I was saying that that's a flaw on our society and the healthcare system and the different things like that we're not even prepared. We don't give a fuck about these children when these situations arise. We don't give a fuck about society. Don't give a fuck about people.
And honestly, point of abortion, like, you know, you really should.
Hold on, no joking shit. No joking shit. I'm being serious. So are we talking about? That's what I'm saying. The only thing in it for me is, are we ending a individual's life? Because
most women don't find out they're pregnant until at 6 weeks. Most women don't even know they're pregnant before that.
I understand what you're saying, Corey. I do. I'll share somewhat of a personal story, kind of give context on my viewpoint on it. You know, I had a kid at 16. You know, the very first option that was on the table was abortion, and I said no. Because I couldn't deal with the fact, number one, that I had a kid. You know what I'm saying? That there's a possibility to bring a life into the world, and I took that away. You know what I'm saying? So then it came up, well, what about adoption? And I was like, well, I can't do that either, because I ain't have a father. So I don't want to be an old man knowing that I had a kid that I gave up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to have to dig in and handle my business. But I also support pro-choice, because you can't make it an all-inclusive decision. And that's the problem that I have with passing a law like this, is you can't make it an all-inclusive decision. You know, and a lot of, if you follow a lot of the conversations around abortion, they all go back to the Bible. And so we're making laws based off of a book, religious thought. We're not making laws based off of logic. That's my problem with this particular law, is it's not logically based. You know, if you were to put certain stipulations on abortion, like, because late-term abortions have a high risk in some cases of compromising the woman's life. sometimes she needs to go ahead and have the baby because an abortion may possibly kill her as well. You know what I'm saying? But when you say, you know, a 12-year-old girl that got raped by whoever, uncle, neighbor, random person, and she's not allowed to have an abortion, she's already going through the trauma of being raped. Now we're going to put her through the trauma of raising a kid at 12. You know, that doesn't make logical sense. Now, I do understand that to do that, you know, depending on how you operate inside your head, that's a life for a life, basically, is what you're saying. You know, and, you know, if I ain't here to judge nobody, and that's my thing. I'm not here to judge anybody. You know, what you choose to do with your life, you know what I'm saying, is between you, anybody involved in that choice, and God. Doesn't have anything to do with me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not gonna sit here, you know, and say I can make a choice like that for somebody, because I know how hard the choice was when it was presented to me. And I think about it almost every day. My daughter lives with me, and I think about it almost every day. The life that I couldn't give her in the beginning, because my ass was too young to provide anything for real, for real. All I knew to do was stick in there, and I think, man, you know, would it have been better had, you know what I'm saying, I said, hey, man, let's not do this one. Had it have been better if I would have said, yeah, we're going to have to get this baby up for adoption because at 16 years old, we don't know how to raise no kids. And those thoughts go through my mind every day, and those are the thoughts that when you're passing something like this, that's how you got to pass. That's how you got to pass laws in general. You don't pass them with religious beliefs. You pass them with logic. And there's nothing logical about saying, we don't care what happened. You can't abort the pregnancy. There's nothing logical in that. And that's the problem that I have with it. Like I said, I don't give a damn about the celebrities. They're human beings. They don't support. Sometimes they support shit we don't like. They want to boycott shit that we like. What the fuck? Why would you do that? But on this particular case, this is not subjective. It's not you can't pass an all-inclusive law for something like this. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Leave it up to, and I'm not looking at it from a religious perspective, but everything you said is valid. Like I said, I will say that the majority, I can name 5 females right now off the top of my head. And like I said, I'm not judging their character or anything like that, but they'll make that decision because of, you know what I'm saying, sexual irresponsibility, which is taught here in America. You know what I'm saying? Which we've been taught, you know what I'm saying, from a young age. You know what I mean? So what you're saying is,
and I understand what you're saying, because I'll be honest with you, I've always been taught to lay in the bed that you make. You know what I'm saying? You gotta lay in the bed that you make.
Our mentality is so different from when we're younger and when we're older.
Of course.
We learn things, and there's like, I know that we probably all have, like, I had these moments with my mom, and I was like, man, I should have listened. Dang, you know what, you was right. Like, when you're young like that, even at 2021, we make some of the dumbest fucking mistakes. I used to do some dumb ass shit, and I didn't understand it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, until you get older and you sitting down, you got your own kids sometimes, and you be like, damn, like, oh man, damn, I could have been real fucked up. What the hell was I thinking? You don't really understand things that people are trying to teach you. So when people are trying to teach you about sex and blah, 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 and you got your own feelings, like my daughter's 15, she's always like, you don't understand how I feel. And
Jesus
I'm like,
Christ.
I do, I was there. No, I really love him. No, you don't. You don't know what love is. You're only 15.
Say what?
But, like, so.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You did say, you went back, you said that this is something that could possibly be targeting African Americans, right?
I do feel like that.
So this is where I get into the meat of it. So why African Americans versus other groups? Why are we getting pregnant at a much younger age?
Cause
lack of education and research.
Exactly.
Right.
We have a lot of broken homes. Okay, Black people it is the way it is. I work with a lot of younger white privileged kids who don't even realize they're privileged.
Yeah.
And they always have mommy, daddy, or whatever the case may be. I grew up in a broken home. I know a lot of Black men that have grown up in broken homes. A lot of the Black men that I dated were, dealt with the same issues that I dealt with. And it affects everyone different. And we go looking for love in other places. Men who aren't, like I said, who aren't educated, don't have that dad discipline to tell them, like, yo, nigga, strap up. Yo, nigga, da-da-da-da. And they got their mom being hard on them because mommy want to act like a man, beating their ass, punch them in the chest, and they going to go look for love from a woman, and vice versa. A young Black woman who don't have her dad around all the time is looking for love, and they think they find that when they're young and they don't understand it. You get what I'm saying? So they're trying to build the family that they didn't have, and they're young and they think they can do all these things. And really, it puts us even further behind. That's all I'm saying. We wind up not going to college or finishing college, and then we just deal with the jobs that are right there because we like, damn, we just got to provide. We just need that money. We got to get an apartment. We got to do this because my mom said, shit, you ain't going to be living here with your baby. Or, like just things like that I see when I see younger white kids who might be in the same situation. But guess what? They all living together. The fucking boyfriend moves in and it's all whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying that every situation is like that. That's not what I'm saying. But when you look at it and you really look at it, and me coming from a Black area and I've seen it firsthand, and just me being older now and seeing how a lot of the younger youth that I see that are white, because I'm in a more open white area, and I be hearing some of the stories and seeing some of the stuff, and I'm like, what? Like, it's just completely different. So for me, I just feel like it's one of those things where I feel like it's another setback for Black women in general. But like I said, it's not a black or white thing. To me, I feel like women, period, should just still have their own choice. But
I feel it was going on that, Corey. I think you were trying to bring the lack of education.
That's exactly what I was saying.
The conversation, and I'll say, I'll be because one of the things that I think culturally affects us as Black people is the fact that I'm gonna go back to religion. We use religion as our buffer for how we educate, and so we automatically push.
My mom wasn't religious though. That's one thing. My mom, she wasn't into the Bible. I went on my own. I explored so many different things because I wanted to be a part of the church group and this, and until I grew and I learned on my own what I wanted. I took a little bit of everything. But my mom, she never talked about God. The only time.
But I mean in totality though, like you may be like an exception to the rule in some cases, but in a lot of the Black homes, we train our kids and we raise our kids based off of religious practices and principles and things of that nature, and sex is one of them. And that we don't push protection, we push abstinence. And it's really, really challenging to, have two 16-year-old kids in a room that's both feeling each other, and they're not protected because they're not educated on the right way to handle
But you're okay. So even though my mom didn't raise me like that, I still went to the church lock-in. I was around a bunch of white people on Wednesdays, and we went on the bus and blah, blah, blah. We was all there with, guess what intention? Oh, what dude's going to be there? What girl's going to be there? Nobody was really getting the word because we were still young. We know what they're preaching. What was it? I watched a movie about these white girls. They were all like Christian school, whatever, and they did this like pledge to get pregnant at the same time. Like I said, like the religion has nothing to do with it. It's about your mindset and being young and what you think you know and what you really don't know until you get older. All these white girls is like, oh, we're gonna get pregnant together and we're gonna do this and blah 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 because they're young, their hormones are crazy. They don't understand it. You can't tell me that that you.
I think they understand it, but when you're young, you're reckless enough to ignore the consequences.
They don't fully understand.
What do you think?
Fully
There's a
understand
show
it.
called 16 and Pregnant. There's white girls out there talking about, oh, I want to be on a show, I want to get pregnant. They are dumb. Like, there are people that really think like,
Exactly.
oh,
That's where I get into.
They make this shit trendy.
And see, that's where I get into the influence, and that's what I was saying about when y'all speak about it more. It should be more. It should be pro-choice. It should be pro-choice, but then with the pro-choice, now we have to delve. This is why we should have more conversations. And I'm not even, I'm not religious at all. I'm not religious or anything, but I do believe in a higher power, and I believe in different things. There's many mysteries to nature. So that's where we need to do more research and look into these different things. That's why we have to have that type of. That's why we got to get society together. There needs to be an education, and we need to come to an understanding. It should be pro-choice. When I listen to y'all more, yes, it should be pro-choice. But now we need to start having the conversations on: are we making the right decision? You know what I'm saying? Are we killing? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, you can't even be. You have to be 18 to vote. So you tell me a 16-year-old girl is mentally ready to make those kind of decisions?
Most people ain't. We got 30, 40 years olds. We can look at the country now and tell that most people are ready to vote because we still believing in this bipartisanship game.
Exactly, because we're uneducated. You don't really know. I'm still finding out shit that my school didn't even fucking teach me about Black history. You get what I'm saying? All I'm saying is these young girls, and I think it hits me harder because I have my daughter's 15. And
Oh my God.
The same thing.
Oh, whoa. I thought you was just throwing out random numbers and shit. How old are you?
No, shut your mouth. I knew you were gonna do that bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm 35. I'm 35.
Stop it.
Fuck no. Are you blind?
No, she's not.
Randy, how old is your sister?
She's telling you the truth. But
I'll be 36 in October.
But my baby 15. My baby 15 years old.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep it moving, but we gonna keep it moving, but we gonna keep talking about sexuality.
I didn't get a chance to say nothing.
Yeah, you don't need you'll get a chance on this one. You'll get a chance on this one. So let's talk about